So this is the beginning of my Acrylic April challenge, day 1, and I decided to do this beautiful stone church that is by that turquoise lake. So I decided to work on these boards that I got from the hardware store. I went in and I just said, I want this MDF board cut up in 12 by 12 pieces. And my hardware people are awesome. They understood that that just meant, cut it up in even pieces. So they're not actually 12 by 12. They're more like 11 1/4 by 11 1/4. Or any of you builder types will know exactly why it's not exactly 12 by 12. And I was okay with that. Because this is for me to learn on. I'm not used to using board. So here you can already see I got right into it and I started working on that sky, and I wanted to get that beautiful golden sky. I found working on this board a little different in that it sucks the moisture out of your paint pretty fast, so any kind of blending for the sky required some pretty fast movements. And I have to admit, my arm might have gotten a little tired because of the weird angle I was at, trying to make sure you guys could see what I was doing. I'm hoping as April goes on that I will get my setup a little bit better so my arm doesn't get so sore. You'll see me try and switch hands and it's rather ridiculous. Here I'm trying to add a little more red into my sun.
Yeah.
And this is my son David helping me out. He's watching along with me, and I'm just trying to smooth, because right now I feel like it was very like blue up here and yellow down here, and I needed to get it so that the blue and the yellow were existing in the same sky. So I added some more white in both areas, and then I come back over that white with some yellow to give it that golden hit coming off the sun. After I was done doing the sky, I went straight in for the dirt. And this is just kind of the base layer of the dirt. You're not really going to see this color, but it gave kind of that undertone to what ends up being seen. Oh yeah, my husband said I said too much in my last video. I should really pay better attention to that. I will try. It seems to crop up a lot, and I apologize to all you English teachers out there who are cringing every time you hear me say I will try to get rid of it. No guarantees though. Right now I'm trying to mix that turquoise color for the lake. I struggled with this. I think I had the wrong yellow or blue, or I had the wrong something, because either I added more one way and now it was just green, and then I added another way and it just went, yeah. So I decided to just go with the mountains first and do those blue mountains, and they're basically a shade darker than the blue I'm going to use in the lake. I made sure I had the shadows right, and I paid attention to where my sun would be to know which way those shadows had to go, because halfway across the shadows switch sides, and to kind of give that fullness to the mountains I needed to make sure that the shadow was on the right side. Otherwise it would just look odd that the sun was in the wrong place, and I didn't want that. So after I was done, I worked on that green color, which you can see did not turn out turquoise. It's more of a spearmint. And I went over it with blue to try and, I don't know, you tell me if you think it came out turquoise. I think it's a very pretty blue. I just don't think it's the turquoise I was really after. Maybe next time I will be able to get a beautiful turquoise color. Now the church, I kind of looked at the clock and I panicked. So you're gonna see the church isn't as beautiful as the picture, and I apologize to all the people who go to this church. I did not do it justice. Please forgive me. As I was trying to rush through it and I pulled out the palette knife and I was doing fast strokes and it just got worse and worse, You'll see the church gets crooked. The church looks as though it's up on a hill, which I didn't intend. Lesson learned. I needed to give myself some more time to do the building at the end. Because when I finished the sky, the lake, and the mountains, I looked at my clock and I realized I was already halfway through my time. And I gave myself 1 hour to do these challenges. So I didn't want to go over on the challenge, especially on my first day. That would not be good. So I tried my best to work it. There's me putting the chimney in, trying to get it to blend in with the front of the church. And those on the side, those wonderful highlights, I'm not entirely sure what they are. I think they're supposed to be like window openings. They just look like really, bright bricks. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. Bright bricks are fun. I didn't mean for the church to look quite so lopsided either. So we kind of have two things going against this poor church. It's lopsided and the bricks look like they're falling off. But that's okay. It's very elegant in the end. After I gave up on the poor church, I decided I needed to get those rocks in with the grass because now I was really running out of time. So I started with the shadows of the rocks because I always find it easier to build up rocks afterwards. Then I started to go around trying to make just a general warmer hue because this is a very goldenish picture. And what I had going wasn't. I had to dry it because every time I went to paint, I was just moving paint around, not in a good, happy, blendy way, just in a, why aren't you sticking on top kind of way. This allowed me then to come back in again with another brush and try to get some more golden highlights going for those grasses, to give the sense that there were clumps of light and color and shadow in those clumps. I hope you see it. In the end, I ended up seeing it. I had to add the white to try and brighten it. And then you'll see me come back in after I do a whole pile of white with some color, the yellows and the browns. And I found that white helped those colors pop a little more, make it feel like the sun was hitting those grasses a little bit more than they were before. Otherwise, my colors were just blending right into that brownish, orangish color I have underneath, which I really like. Don't get me wrong, I like the brownish, orangish color. I just didn't want it to take over all my grasses. When it came to my rocks, you'll see I came back a couple times to do the highlights to give it kind of a more layered look of rocks. About at this point in the picture, I realized that I really was running out of time and that I just needed to make it work. And I got some more rocks in there and I got the grasses looking good. I hope you enjoyed day 1. I'm hoping day 2 goes a little bit better and I'm able to manage my time a little better. Have a good night and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye!